Hello, I'm Lee Howard, Product Pre-Sale Specialist for Hikvision UK and Ireland. And today I want to take the time to talk to you about facial recognition access control. Authorised access has come a long way from using keys, PIN codes, cards and fingerprints. We now find ourselves stepping into the era of face recognition. The use of face recognition in access control and time and attendance has been an inevitable trend. It creates an advantageous touch-free experience. With advanced deep learning technology and practical functions, Hikvision MinMoe face recognition terminals bring better security and improved efficiency to access control and time and attendance tracking, making them easier than ever. But before we delve into the benefits of facial recognition and the MinMoe offering, I want to dispel a couple of commonly held views. Many people tend to think of biometrics, especially face recognition, as being cost prohibitive when compared to traditional card-based access control systems. As a result, they often stay with the traditional offering, mistaken believing it will save some money. With Hikvision, that is not the case. Let's dive a bit deeper and we'll bust that myth. So the most popular access control systems currently used in the UK offer a single door controller connected to some form of locking device with one or two readers, depending if it's read in and read out. The majority of installations will have a single reader on the secure side and a request to exit button and break glass box on the safe side, as shown in the picture. Now, if you were to use facial recognition on a standard access control system, you would need to replace the reader for a facial recognition unit, doubling the cost and making it more expensive. But if we compare that to a typical MinMoe door installation, as you can see from the diagrams, the wiring is virtually identical. Instead of an ACU, we have a secure module and a power supply, and the RJ45 connection goes to the MinMoe instead of the ACU. But crucially, the same number of boxes on the wall is required. Not only the same number of boxes on the wall, but more importantly, the cost will be more or less identical, as a combination of a K1T341AM secure module and power supply works out no more expensive and sometimes a bit cheaper than a controller and reader option from other manufacturers. So no additional cost to the end user, busting the myth that facial recognition is too expensive. I've also been told many times that staff would not be happy with having their face photo details stored. But how many places with a traditional access control system also use the access control card as an ID card? Printing the staff details, including picture on the card, I've seen in businesses, schools, colleges, universities, hospitals, care homes, just to mention a few. All of them were using access control with cards, with their photos printed. Many have the name of the workplace on them as well, so if you lose or have your card stolen, someone can easily use a card to gain entry to that building because they know where you work. The same picture that is used on the access control card is the same as the one we would use for facial recognition, and crucially there is no difference in the information stored or where it is stored. Also, you can select not to show the person's details on entry to protect privacy. Now let's look at some of the advantages that our MinMoes can offer. On average, businesses in the UK have a staff turnover of 15%. That means every year you will have to replace 15% of all cards on the access control system, and that's not even taking into account lost or damaged cards. This means that a traditional access control system will have ongoing, recurring costs for the lifetime of the system. So even though most cards are relatively cheap, over the lifetime of the system, this can amount to a large amount of money. I even know a university that has to purchase an average of 10,000 cards per annum for new student intakes. Now that is a large recurring cost that could be eliminated by using facial recognition. You can lose a card, but you cannot lose your face. Many of the cheaper access control cards on the market can also be easily cloned by buying a cloning device off the internet for a small sum of money. This is a major security flaw with many card-based systems. With facial recognition, this is not a concern, as you cannot clone someone's face. As well as facial recognition, the MinMoe can also provide card, PIN and fingerprint, and you can set this as single, double or triple authentication depending on your security requirements. In addition to face recognition, the MinMoe range of terminals all have a built-in QR code reader. This means that you can easily create a QR code for visitors or contractors and email it to them in advance, so that they can gain entry without the need to provide them a card, which they could lose or they may forget to hand it back when they leave. Again, saving money, leading from the reoccurring costs for new cards. All MinMoe terminals have built-in time and attendance functionality, which can be linked to IX Central or IVMS for comprehensive reports and third-party integration through SQL. Our MinMoe terminals also have built-in intercom functionality, reducing the need for additional intercom products. They can be programmed to call the indoor station directly to the software management platform or both. And if you link your Hike Connect account, you can also receive calls directly to your phone. Now, as we can see in this video, we can come to our terminal, select the call button and choose the room we wish to call. If we leave it for a moment, the call will also go through to our phone, where we can answer the call, speak to the person and unlock the door. And you're not restricted to just calling one apartment. You can select this and program this to call additional apartments too. So in this case, we can now call a second apartment. Using our deep learning algorithm, we can increase verification speed by up to 80%, while still keeping a very high level of security of 99.9% recognition, and providing a recognition speed of less than 0.2 of a second. So if we watch this video, which will need to be quick, you can see that it's a very fast recognition time. Additionally, the detection range can be adjusted from 0.5 of a metre to 3 metres to suit the environment in which it's located. Now, by combining face data from both the infrared camera and normal camera, the MinMoe can determine whether it's a real person presenting to the terminal. We call this anti-spoofing. It provides higher security, more precise authentication, and it prevents attendance substitution. So as we can see from this video, we prevent a life-size photo. We cannot gain entry. With its built-in infrared camera, the MinMoe terminals can also see people in the dark and still verify for entry, so you don't have to worry about low-lit areas. And all MinMoes can be programmed via their built-in web configuration tool. So you can add, delete users, live view the camera, unlock the door, view historic logs, and much, much more. And so for smaller systems, you can run the MinMoes without the need for PC-based management software. I'd like to thank you for your time, and if you found this interesting, please visit our website for more information or contact your local representative if you would like a free demonstration. Thank you.